Oh, well, hello everybody. Fancy seeing you here. We are about to get started with our round of 16, our first match for round of 16. I am one of your two commentators for this evening, Netara, and I am joined by PMAkfal.
Hello, hello, hello. I am super excited about this race. I've been so hyped for all these races.
Should be excellent. So let me just quickly introduce our runners for this evening, and then we will get them started. So this is Team Cave Bahamut. So the format of this race is going to be 4 enter, 3 leave. So the person who gets last place in this match will not be continuing to the next round. So we have Riversmccown, TheFiz, Supremacy, and Nightdew, who all did very well in order to make it to the round of 16. So I guess with that, we'll hand it over to Scala to get them started.
Yeah, and if you watched our draft right after the last round, the last play-in match, Riversmccown was the player that picked all of these players to race against. So these were his picks in the draft.
And we'll see whether he made good picks or not, or good picks for him, I should say.
Now, are you excited about a C3 tonight? This makes things a little bit different and a little more challenging.
Well, Val, why don't you tell me what C3 means?
C3 means we're going to see only 5 total characters, and that's it. 4 or 5 unique characters, and that's it. So,
yep. So if you end up with Edward, you are stuck with Edward because he is not getting replaced by anybody.
and we're going. Here we go.
Oh, it's not a bad start. Sit in Porum. Win the package.
Yep. So we got a pretty heavy hitter with Sid and a white mage. So good. White mage is usually one of our difficult characters to find. So that's good.
Yeah, that is actually really fortuitous because, again, you can end up with flat out hot garbage. So we're definitely happy to see those two good characters to start. And what C3 also means is there's going to be a lot more duplicates around the map. So even though we received the package, and that does open up another character slot for these characters or for these runners, it could mean it's just another duplicate, one of the folks they started with. And you will see Supremacy changing his color, and the other 3 should be doing the same. Those are the official Team Cave Bahamut colors.
And we saw a duplicate Porum in the Baron Inn, so there's one of our duplicates right there.
Yeah, still a key item in that spot, though, so there could still be value.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to see many runners really rushing to do that because it's going to be 2 fights. Can be sometimes a little bit difficult. The first one, not so much. The second one can be a little tricky, and just for a duplicate. So we may see most of our runners waiting a little bit to do that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to see this race is going to start off fairly similar to our round of 32. The only difference really is the C3. So character checks are going to be pretty much a little bit quicker in this one. And a lot of resets.
And you may see some Zeromus fights or a lot of boss fights with less characters than you're used to, and that was Tella in the bed.
Uh-oh.
Well, so that could be worse.
Now, Tella is pretty decent early on. Tella's HP growth is just not enough to survive a Big Bang or multiple Big Bangs from Zeromus. So early on from Man Ordeals, he'll be fine. But later on, not so useful.
Yeah, it basically guarantees that Tella's only use in the Zeromus fight will be as an agility anchor. So again, could be incredibly useful earlier on. But yeah, when it comes to Z, these people are going to have no more than just 4 characters because, like we say, Tella will not survive unless it's perfectly nuked every time. That is goodbye, Tella.
Oop, and we have Yang up at the top of East Hobbs, and Supremacy looting the bottom of Damsian found a cat claw. So some good items down there, and the cat claw for Yang would be fantastic. So if Nightdew heads down there and gets it, we're good to go.
Absolutely. It looks like the Fizz is looting a mist. It'll be interesting to see whether he actually triggers the package or not. A lot of runners will save and then trigger that package cutscene. And if they see a duplicate character or in other flags, a character they don't want, they can just cut and run because that is quite a long cutscene.
I believe that. No, I think Fizz is going to go for it.
Yeah, and it's Yang, so that's a Yang for Fizz. I would do the Nightdew call for getting the Mount Hobbs Yang, but Yangs for everyone is the main thing.
Yes, but with what the Fizz is doing too is he may be checking for the boss on in Kaipo Inn, which could be the Mist Dragon, which could lead lead for another key item.
Absolutely. However, if the Mist Dragon is elsewhere, this is going to be a solid waste of time, unfortunately. So it does save the Mount Hobbs check, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, definitely. I do think most of our runners are going to nope out of the of that. Ooh, the Fabul Gauntlet in Antlion Cave, another time-consuming spot, but again, for the chance for a key item, generally speaking, worth it.
Yes, that is pretty long. Not too difficult though in this spot.
No. Some early experience for Porum, who has low HP, isn't an awful thing either, though in that spot you're not getting a huge amount either. Ooh, Zeus Gauntlets I'm seeing in chat. Those are a nice find. Yeah, both Sid and Yang are really good heavy hitters. The difference between them basically is whether you have availability to armor or not, generally speaking. But having both of them is definitely a boon rather than a detriment.
Yes.
Okay, so K2, yeah, K2 is the normal key items plus the optional bosses. So it means, say, the Odin spot, the summon bosses, or the summon cave bosses and the moon bosses, and along with the Sylph cave Sylphs will also have potential key items.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the Octomam rolling in there in the Kaipo Inn. That was pretty funny.
That's amazing. Hey, Octomam can just fit in all those tiny spaces. Yeah, Supremacy is also in Mist though, so we'll see whether he saves first before checking that cutscene. Yeah, I think so. Nope, just not even gonna, just looting Mist altogether. And it looks like Nightdew is in Fabul, so good chance to check some of those item shops, see what they've got, and to sell some things certainly. But we'll see. Because I think Nightdew is the first one to go to Fabul.
Yeah, and running this gauntlet is a good idea at this point. He's got a character down. He's gonna get that free heal before this fight starts.
Absolutely. Ooh, and Barren Key for Rivers in the Antlion Cave. So definitely potential value in Antlion Cave. Ooh, and Dancing Daggers.
Ooh,
Very
Dancing Daggers
nice.
gonna be beneficial. Now, if I'm not mistaken, can Porum equip those?
No, she cannot.
No, she cannot.
I'm not even sure if Sid can. It's not an awful thing to have them, but yeah, if Sid can't use them, no one else in the party currently can. But that doesn't mean they won't get another character, which won't be valuable for. Rivers doing their Mount Hobbs check, and with the extra experience that he would have gotten from the Fabul Gauntlet down in the Antlion Cave, definitely not going to have any problem with, I think it was Water Hag anyways, to be honest. So
Rivers finding Yang.
So with that, I think that's everyone, or just about everyone who has Yang in their party.
Now we did find a heroine robe in the waterway in Baron, or in the pond in Baron. So equipping a bow and arrow on Porum right now, and that heroine robe could use her as a good fighter early on before you throw something else on her for her to be a mage.
Absolutely, and only getting a defense sword from the king in Fabul, so no particular value there. That is quite a nice sword if you don't get anything better, but again, no one in the party can currently use it. Do I hear we have a rune axe? That is an if not the best, if not the best weapon for Sid, one of the best. It is the best axe. It's a very good weapon. So,
Ooh, Supremacy found a lunar staff in Antline Cave, and I
ooh,
think I missed with Nightdew. I believe he went down there. Whoever else went down there, I must have missed that. But
Rivers.
that's a Rivers. That's a great staff for Porum. Going to give her
Hmm.
a good boost in her willpower for magic boost later on.
Absolutely. And where she has the potential to be the only main healer, that is going to be invaluable. So TheFiz has also joined Supremacy in the Antlion Cave. And let's see where Nightdew heads next. Probably the same place. Yep. Rivers got it out of the way, and he's now covering all the bases that the others explored instead of doing Antlion.
Looks like Rivers is going to check a couple shops here just to see what he can find, check some treasures.
Yeah, it is only S2, so you're not going to find anything super amazing. But when it comes to the item shops, that's where you're going to find your value. Looking for your lives, your Bacchus's coffins, which Rivers found are excellent for the grind if you can find sirens, or just in general, they're really great against non-boss enemies.
The Assassin Dagger can be useful for someone as well if they can equip that. The Assassin Dagger has a small chance to proc and instantly swoon the enemy if it's a non-boss bit enemy. So that's definitely beneficial if we find someone like, Palom, Rydia, they could equip that.
Absolutely. And got pointed out in chat something I didn't actually know, that with this particular flag set combination, you are guaranteed to have Cure 3s in a store somewhere, which is in case you do not get a white mage. So that is definitely a very good call.
Well, Rivers finding those coffins in Silvera is definitely big for him. That
Hmm.
essentially makes the Baron Guard fight a free fight if he runs into them. Any of those boss battles that does not have the boss bit set, he can use those on and instantly kill them.
Absolutely.
So we got a long gauntlet going on with 3 of our 4 runners, while Rivers is going to fight Yang fighting his own kingdom. We're pretty much coming together in our divergence very, very quickly.
Yeah, we're getting some yang on yang violence, but what that means is, it looks like the Baron Key is going to be, unless they choose to do ordeals, which is time consuming as it has 3 bosses and only 1 key item, chances are the next stop is going to be Baron, whether the runners choose to do Baron in first before doing Baron Castle or not. That'll be interesting to see, but.
I'd be interested to see if any of the runners, if they find Tella at any point, decide to run straight up ordeals to make him useful early on.
Yeah, and there is potential value in that. But it depends how much time you want to spend making him useful, and again, it depends on who else you find. You're gonna have to find the Sand Ruby or find him elsewhere.
I think if we find him, that will be the only reason anybody heads up there, unless we hit a dead end and that's the only option left.
Yeah, I know I've played these C3 seeds where, because of the other characters I got, along with Tella, I didn't even bother with ordeals. It just wasn't enough to make him valuable. And you can thank Skullakitty for the new layout, and she is also our restreamer for this evening. So you can also thank her for the seed, whatever it decides to give us. So I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong at all.
And big thank you to Invenerable for his tracking tonight.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely interested to see where everyone goes next, because again, like you say, most of them have covered just about everything, but I think Rivers is in a tentative lead. But again, that's going to depend on where he goes and what he gets. Okay, so of course, doing the inventory management, which is especially important in the randomizer. Selling off items, you definitely want to hold on to some extra cash. And generally speaking, there are items you're going to want to hold on to as well because you don't know, they don't know who their last character is going to be. And for some of them, they don't know who the last two characters are going to be. But we know Tella's in there somewhere, but nobody knows who that fifth character is going to be yet.
And Nightdew went ahead and found his coffins in Silvera. He picked up about 4 or 5 of them.
Looks like he's at least going to Mysidia. We'll see whether they also go to Ordeals or not. Yeah, looks like Toroya is the play for Rivers currently. Checking out all of those items. You won't get a key item from there, but there's just so many different items. It definitely is a good call, especially where there's not something clear and particularly easy open currently. Okay. Oh, yeah. Right now they're checking all of the different towns, checking their item shops, looking for those few key items, as it were, that they want to make their lives easier. The life potions, Bacchuses, sirens, coffins, any sort of curative item, particularly, cure threes and some sort of MP, potentially an MP replacing item, but definitely cure threes. Yeah, definitely get lots of whistles. Definitely the best plan.
Looks
Ooh,
like
Starveils.
Nightdew's going to go ahead and try this fight in here. I believe he's the first to do that.
Ooh,
Oh
I see.
no!
Oh, Wyvern, no. So yes, we do not have the W flag on this set of flags. So if you come across Wyvern, you have to hope you get those Starveils up immediately. Otherwise, you're toast because that Mega Nuke hurts. It hurts a lot.
Having that in the first spot is not nearly as bad. If you can get a pretty powerful hit off early, it's gonna be okay. It'll be okay. You can take him down. He's gonna get mega nuked again. Ouch.
That is definitely rough. Might be the better call to do Baron Castle first because at least it's not Wyvern.
He may try to use that he may try to use that Zeus rage there. It's not. It is not a lot of HP in that spot. I want to say 400 or 500 maybe.
Yeah, something else that they're doing is they're making sure to change their battle speed, which slows the speed of the actual battle, which gives them more time to put in some inputs. So that can actually work to your favor if you are struggling with any sort of these fights, along with the run buffers. So excellent, getting some Starveils up. So Wyvern will Mega Nuke themselves, though this is still going to be unfortunate for the next fight.
Yeah, the next fight's the trickier one. The next fight's is 4,000 HP, and he's just got Yang up with either Rubicon or the Elements, which could be the Elements.
Rivers just ran into the wall that is Mega Nuke, but again, Rivers is a very experienced runner, being one of the top 4 in this round of 16. So he can do it if he wishes, or he can also choose to nope out and do ordeals. So it'll be interesting to see where exactly that value is. And fighting those elements is not nice, but actually is not too bad in that spot.
And he managed to get all of his characters up, which is impressive for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, as chat points out, on this particular set of flags, Wyvern will not block the path to the underground. So that means even though there could be one of the key items behind Wyvern, it won't be underworld access. So definitely not a bad idea to move on to our deals. It'll be interesting to see whether this is the play over Baron Castle, but with the party members and the levels they have, this is probably the better play. Ooh, Dark Elf.
Oh, Fizz, you have ice arrows. Use them. Oh, okay, that works too.
Oh yeah. Hey, Fizz was fine. And there's Nightdew changing. So it looks like everyone has their colors changed now. So that was an agreement by the team that everyone would change their window color so no one would be at a disadvantage for doing it. Oh look, we have double porums. That counts as a set of twins, right? Twin cast.
I know a thing or two about having twin daughters.
Oh no! I bet
Now, what
they
item
love
did
screen.
he? What item did he pick up from Baron Inn?
I did not see. Protect ring! Delicious. My favorite. Also, not progression, so looks like Nightdew is going to do the path I thought Rivers was going to do and check out Barren Castle. So that's
And
going to
you,
be interesting.
and you saw Rivers used a hourglass on the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf, once he changed, does not have the boss bit sets on, so he is susceptible to status ailments. He's also susceptible to weak if you have a character that can use weak.
Yeah, there's lots of really mean things you can do to the Shadow Dragon form of the Dark Elf, which is especially good because it's mainly the Shadow Dragon form of Dark Elf there, which is mean. So. And we have, Asura, as Supremacy is fighting. Not sure where, but. Ooh, we found Demist on, so that is a second key item which will become available for Rivers for defeating the Mist Dragon, so that is excellent.
And Ashura is in Barris Castle, the first boss.
Gotcha.
Ashura is the one who gave us the package at the beginning of the game.
Yes. Ooh, found at least one Bacchus there. So technically there are two ways to get key items here in Barren Castle, but with the party and levels that they have, probably not a good idea to go and try the Odin spot right now.
Well, the Water Hag is the only free one they may be able to handle, but we saw Water Hag up on Ordeals. I mean,
yeah,
on
and
Ordeals,
there's
on Hobbs.
And there's Dark Imps, beautiful to have in that spot because as a regular an encounter, they also don't have a boss bit. So you can just use your Hourglass, and once they get their initial attacks out of the way, they are stopped. So that leaves Supremacy free to just wail on them and kill them. So there is another character potential after this boss and a key item. So it'd be interesting to see what Barren Castle provides. Well, just at the same time that Rivers did defeat Mist Dragon.
And we know that our fourth character is Tella, but we have not seen a fifth yet.
No, we have not. So that was really weird watching the Mist Dragon sprite fall into the deep ravine. Felt very awkward. Okay, let's see what our key item is in Ordeals. Ooh, and there's Tella, so that means we don't need the Sand Ruby now.
Supremacy will probably be heading right up Ordeals.
Yeah, probably
this.
so.
Oh,
the
nice.
crystal! So Man Ordeals is absolutely required. So for those not familiar with this particular randomizer, there are two key items in the set of flags which are required to finish the game. You need a way to the moon, which is either going to be the pass or the darkness crystal, and you also require the crystal, which transforms the final boss Zemus into a killable form. He is invincible until then. So getting one of those two key items is really, really great for Rivers, especially depending on what this key item is that we're about to see Supremacy get.
The hook.
Oh, so that is still required though, but what that means is because the hook has been granted and that opens up a lot of access, they are less likely to go to Man Ordeals. Or potentially, unless they want to make Tella stronger. So unless they do, they could get kind of debated away from the crystal, which we now know is on Man Ordeals. And let's see who Odin is today. Oh, Lugae. How nice.
That is not a fun fight.
No. Supremacy resetting right out of that. And I do notice that Fizz is using the life glitch, the vitality glitch on the dark imps, getting some extra experience for each one that's killed. And we get a rat tail from D-Mist from Rydia's mom. So
So if
Rivers,
Rivers
yeah.
chooses to do Baron, he'll have that hook, and they get that possibility to open possibility for another item from that
Yeah.
rat tail turn in.
And honestly, at this point, Rivers has no choice but to do Baron, because even if he does decide to do Baron in first, he will not get a key item. He'll just get the Protect Ring, so he will be forced to go into Baron Castle. So this is actually playing out really well for Rivers. Again, it's not that the other players won't necessarily get these same things, but Rivers, because of his routing, is guaranteed to get them sooner. So that is quite the lead.
And Supremacy is going to head up ordeals and doing something many of us do not do in this randomizer, putting decent equipment on Tella.
Yeah, well, when you've only got 5 characters, it's not such a waste anymore because you need Tella. So it's only Zeromus he's potentially not useful for. Really, you can make him potentially useful for other things. Okay, good. River's getting his Wyvern down, while Fizz also goes to Ordeals. So this is really good for both Supremacy and Fizz. So that does cut into Rivers' lead a little bit. Let's see what Nightdew also does.
The pass is also in this flag set. The pass is in the key item pool, so you're gonna any place that you could find a key item could also be your pass. So we still got to find the pass or the darkness crystal to get to the moon. So the crystal's no good without any of that.
Exactly. Yeah, the crystal, like of the 2 key items, as it were, the crystal is definitely the most important because there are 2 things that'll get you to the moon and only 1 thing that'll make Zeromus actually killable. So. Oh, looks like Nightdew might also be doing the Manor Deals play, so that is going to even everything up, which is lovely. That's gonna feel good later to know they didn't end up in the wrong spot. Often when folks get the hook, it's just instant, come on, let's go, time to go underground. And these folks will all have Tella with them on ordeals, so not so useful for climbing ordeals, but as soon as they're done ordeals, that will be great.
But with the choices we've made so far, this now puts Supremacy in a slight lead. Very slight, but a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, depending on how quickly Rivers makes it through Baron Castle, but yeah, absolutely. Because keep in mind, Rivers has also turned in the Mist Dragon to Rydia's mom, so I'd put them pretty even at this point. But we'll definitely have to see how it plays out. Roadblock and Upper Babel. Invent, please.
I'm still waiting for my seed with the Dragon Mist guarding the crystal at CPU spot.
Oh,
One day.
goodness.
One day.
Yeah, it's because each of the bosses take on the stats mostly of the position they're in. Some bosses, which are generally speaking easy, can be really, really difficult in certain spots because of just how it affects their own stats. And oh boy, yeah, some of these bosses demist in certain spots is just really not fun whatsoever, to put it kindly.
One of the bosses that is kind of nasty to find that's blocking access to the underworld through Upper Babel is Antlion, because that is a fast spot. Antlion it's got pretty high attack and counters every normal attack. So finding Antlion down there could be a little tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, River's actually doing some looting in the underground waterway. Which,
Which isn't
the other.
really a
Yeah.
bad idea. It's not too far out of the way. Always got the option of finding something really good or something you can sell later on.
Absolutely. And when you're in C3 with the limited character choices that you have, those items can really be essential. You can't go in so much with not so great items because the character is good if the character is, you know, hot garbage.
Alright, so River's gonna be taking on his bosses in Baron very shortly. Looks like he... Oh no, I thought he was gonna save. He might still save. We got a headband for Sid. Alright, Fizz picks up his crystal. Supremacy is probably going directly to find that, to turn in the Mist Dragon and see what he can get. Oh, nope, Supremacy's gonna check some shops first.
Yeah, again, not a bad call whatsoever, especially looking for those items.
Finding sirens would be really nice too, because that removes the need for a D machine grind since we know there are coffins.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we kind of hope. And again, the coffins are nice. Yeah, if you get the coffins but no sirens, it can be a little sad, but it's always interesting to see because where sirens aren't guaranteed, sometimes it tests these runners to see whether they can do the alternate grinding strategies. Yeah, we are still waiting for our 5th character. They have not been spotted by anyone yet.
And everybody's looking to eventually see a spot soon because they're going to be going through Eblin Cave with the hook.
Yeah, so they are definitely gonna... And there is a character in the Eblin Cave as well, so that is another opportunity. Another item shop as well. There is a trap chest, but in this set of this flag set, all that affords is some experience and a good item, which aren't bad, honestly. But
Right, trap chests do have better item pool than just normal chests. So
we had a guest speaker on the mic. Welcome. Okay, so Fizz and Supremacy have both gotten their rat tail, and they each have the hook. So they are going to head over. Let's see whether they are going to turn in that rat tail or whether they're going to head straight for Eblin Cave. Yeah, looks like Supremacy is definitely turning it in. So let us see what we... Oh no! He parked in and he blocked in his hovercraft. That's sad. I thought the puppy was the most popular commentator. Come on. Baby is a close second, though.
yeah, I had my one of my daughters. Here comes the other one. Give me one.
Oh, and there's the magma key. Very interesting. So, will they use the hook and get that character and check out that shop? Or will they drop the magma key just straight in and go and check Eblin Cave later if they're looking? That will be interesting. Yeah, that hook seed bait. Yeah, anyone who does not turn in that rat tail before going to Eblin, I'll be very sad for. Okay, so River's about to do his, about to get his key item there. Yeah, Supremacy is going into the cave. Excellent. So
Ooh, Nightdew got blocked by the hardest boss in the game, the old lady in the Kaipo Inn, so he's right out.
The worst. So there are some Hourglass 2s, I think it was, in and Cure 3s in the Eblin Cave. So that is huge. Definitely going, or Hourglass 1s and some Ether 2s. So that is a lot of value in Eblin Cave. Let's see if the character also provides value, or whether it's one of our many duplicates. This is a Scala seed. It can't be a nice seed. That's against the rule. Okay, Rivers is going to check the Odin spot. Probably be fairly disappointed.
Nightdew picks up his rat tail, so...
Oh yeah, as soon as he saw it, he's like, nope.
And it's our duplicate Tella, so...
Wah wah. Well, at least the item shop had value.
So they're gonna leave us hanging on who this 5th character is, huh?
Yeah, could be on the moon, could be in the underworld. Yeah, you can never have too many Tellas. What are all these Edwards you folks want? It's Tella everyone wants.
Well, see, at least Tella can be a little useful. Edward,
Yeah.
not a bit. Edward can soak up a couple hits. That's about it.
So yeah, Rivers had not actually checked out Damsian, so just looting quickly before getting his hovercraft. And Supremacy dropping that magma key in. It is time for the underground, which gives us access to a quite a huge amount of items. But we are not going into the underground. Excuse me, with any underground items. So they'll have to go to some of the free spots, and hopefully will not be forced to double dip.
We're gonna see the Fizz is doing this trap chest in Evelyn Castle. He used an hourglass to stop them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him use the life potion glitch to try to get some extra experience from this.
Yeah, that looks to be exactly what he's doing, which is very smart.
Oh, nice. Sid's attack did not kill it. Oh, though the life potions will not work on the skeletons because I believe they are undead. I think the vitality glitch does not work on undead enemies. It's like you cannot use the 0 vitality glitch on Liliths at the top of ordeals.
Huh. You learn something new every day. Okay, so yeah, Supremacy went for the obvious free chest in Land of Summoned Monsters because there is just one key item just hanging about in the Fey March, so it is a good place to start when you don't have any key items. And getting the Adamant, which unfortunately doesn't really have much value in these flags. All it does is when combined with the Legend Sword, another key item, it will give you an Excalibur. So, generally speaking, not worth the waste of time of even making it an Excalibur.
The only
Even
upside, if
yeah.
we find Cecil and the Legend Sword,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
that could be our only real advantage to having that right now. But as of now, it's just a key item to anchor us for that, or to push us closer to that 10 key item spot for the bonus XP.
Absolutely, and actually really interesting to see who's in the Ashura and Leviathan spots. We have a Moon Boss, and it looked to be some Baron Guards, so that actually might not be too bad. Depending, yeah, it looks like Supremacy is taking the Cure and is gonna attempt those Baron Guards, because those should be doable in that spot, even with his party.
Yep, throw an hourglass down to stop them. Tella can use
Mhm.
Fatal, and they're done.
Absolutely.
But we also have coffins. I don't know if he's going to want to waste his coffins.
You can always buy more. So River's probably going to reset as soon as seeing it is the duplicate Tella. Yeah, exiting right out. It's like, nope, we are done.
Oh, I'm being told in chat, Tella cannot use Fatal.
Yeah, I don't even think he has it. I think it's one of the spells he just doesn't receive.
One of those old man mages has Fatal, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to use those coffins, which I think is a smart play.
And the Fizz is going to use his life 0 vitality glitch on the Mad Ogres.
And Supremacy doing the same on the Baron Guard. So many hurt or dying Tellas. Wow, that is a lot of
Rivers is committing to this Odin spot, the Dr.
Interesting.
Lugi.
And again, that could end up paying off depending on what's there. Ooh, getting the pan from the Baron Guards. So that means Supremacy now has access to the Sylph Cave, and which you had access to before, but it means you won't have to double dip. So that's interesting.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this boss is weak to hammers.
Who isn't weak to hammers? Let's be real.
You're right. Yeah, so it's going to do some pretty high damage numbers for Sid in this fight. You also remember there's that free hit from Balnab on Dr. Lugay initially. The Sylph spot here, using the pan on Yang, Sylph spot is another potential for a key item. So we have 3 coming up here. 1 from here, and then 2 from Sheila.
Absolutely. So that's definitely a lot of value. Let's see. Ooh, a glass helmet. Not a key item, but an excellent helmet. I think the best helmet in the game, and anyone can wear it. So definitely a good thing to have when you've got a couple of squishies in your party, especially such as Porum. Also gonna check out Tamra.
Still looking for our sirens.
Balnabzy. No, we found more star rails.
Starveil is beneficial if we run into Golbez at this point.
Yes. We found Bacchus wines. I think that's the dwarf castle.
And cabins.
Very nice.
Did we have those before though?
No, there's been some Bacchuses in the chests, but not in a store.
I was talking cabins.
Oh, cabins? Those I have no idea. I don't look for cabins. Okay, so halfway through the Lugay fight with Rivers. The Lugay fight is 2 halves though, so let's see how the second half goes. Walking in with 2 dead folks.
And losing Sid is kind of tough for that one right now. He might be okay.
Ooh, pink tail for Supremacy for the finding Yang, and the Luca key for turning in the pan. So that is sealed cave access, which everyone loves having.
And I believe that's 10 key items for Supremacy.
Yeah, I believe it is. So that means double experience, which is very, very welcome at all times, but especially when you're still hunting around. The guard fight did not go so well for Nightdew. Let's see if they can try again.
And the Fizz finding Pale Dim, resetting out of the Pale Dim fight in the Dwarf Castle.
Speaking of things not going well, Lugay is really not liking Rivers right now. But he is still fighting the good fight, so let's see what happens. Nope. Resetting. Let's see where he goes from there. Yeah, he's ditching.
Supremacy picked up his adamant armor. Definitely
Smart.
big boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with the adamant armor is always extraordinarily welcome, but especially when you've got a couple of squishy party members, you really want that. So, unfortunately, that fight with Odin and the Odin spot did lose Rivers time, especially since he did not complete it.
And he has yet to head to the underground yet, but he is now. He's throwing his key down the well.
Be interesting to see where he goes. He will likely do the same as the others and go straight for the Fey March. And then from there, we'll see where he goes. But
I did not realize Supremacy had not completed the Baron Inn yet.
Oh, fast enough to just punch River, and I don't need Starveil's punch.
Nice. Yang is pretty quick. With this only a 400 HP spot, 1 attack off with his character right now, no problem.
Nightdew now making his play down into the Sylph Cave.
Ooh, I was impressed with Supremacy's queuing up that Ice 2 just at the right time for that transition into Rubicon. With Rubicon's cape open, he is weak to ice attacks, so it made that fight go very quickly.
That is beautiful. However, Nightdew did not have the pan when going down into Sylph, so he is going to have to double dip. unfortunately, did not fight, or because he did not defeat the Baron Guards in the Summon
Right.
Monster Cave, so
So he will pick up a pink tail, but he will not pick up the Luca key.
no, he will not. So, and again, that might be to his benefit if there's nothing of value in the sealed cave. But, as it is a potential grind spot and does have a key item, this could hurt him, but he can always come back later when he's a bit stronger to pick out those guards.
Yes, as Netara pointed out, the Luca Cave is one of the 3 major options for grinding. Those sealed doors will give, with 10 key items, will give about 67,000 experience, 68,000.
68,000 for the eggs, yes.
No, I'm talking about for the doors in the Luca Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Doors.
I don't know.
I know it's 70,000 if it summons the monster. That's 70,000. But you have a limited number.
Yes, you do, and they take a while to fight. Unlike the egg grind, which is they have very little HP comparatively, so it's kind of like one hit kill. Let's see if Rivers is gonna go back and save, or whether he's just gonna run right in.
Our equipment for our runners is actually pretty good. The seed's been pretty generous equipment wise. They're in good shape that way. He used some Cure 2s, Cure 3s to heal up. He's gonna try to. Whoa! They hit hard.
Ooh, they hit hard, and unfortunately, they killed the first person who had the hourglasses put up. So yeah, he's got a second one queued up just to be safe. So hopefully, they didn't have time to queue up their next move. They did.
But it'll leave one alive.
But they're fine now, exactly. So they're done. They are now frozen for a while. More than enough time to bring everyone back and get them guards dead. So Pale Dim, Supremacy is currently fighting. Doesn't seem to be going that poorly.
Of the lunar bosses, Pale Dim is usually one of the ones you'll want to see. He does counter physical attacks with slow. Downside is he does have a pretty nasty physical attack, but unless you use magic on him, or right now you see Yang's only soaking those up for 1 damage each, so it may be a little bit longer, but he's gonna have no problem with this.
Would you say he pales in comparison to the other moon bosses? Rivers did get his pan in the meantime, so he will not have to double dip the Sylph Cave. Also, I don't think anyone has even checked what the lunar boss is in the Land of Summoned Monsters.
No, that could hold the pass or the darkness crystal. So.
Oh, the dolls. The dolls are 1 spot off. Oh, and Sid's in the dwarf castle, so completely unhelpful.
Still, the dolls are susceptible to, or the back 3 dolls are susceptible to stop.
Yeah, so, if he gets stop off in time, he's killed the front 3, which means they could big doll at any point now.
This is only a 3,000 HP spot, so this should go over pretty quickly if he just gets these attacks off. If they didn't queue up to change, he's fine.
Yeah, so it looks like it is the D-Lunars in the other spot. So I think Rivers outed. It was just like, nope. And Fizz also gave it a quick try and then said also noped right out. So shortly we will see the key item that Supremacy gets from the Dwarf Castle. So that will be really interesting to see. Ooh, a tiara. That is an excellent hat for any of the ladies.
So tiara grants plus 10 wisdom, so definitely a big boost for magic.
Okay, let us see what Supremacy's gonna get. Give us something shiny. Tower key. Well then.
Okay.
So that's actually good because now they can do lower babble without having to double dip again. So this is working out really well for Supremacy, picking all the correct spots. Oh, they're gonna go to Sealed Cave first though.
Now, benefit of this is he can run in and look at the item and know, do I want to do this or do I not? I don't think Supremacy's party is going to be able to handle the boss in the evil wall spot. I think he might just be checking it to see if it's going to be worth going to, or if it was just going to have to ignore it.
I don't know. I can't see the value in checking what the boss is if you're not ready to defeat it at this level. That seems to be a time waste. But we'll definitely see what the other folks do, and especially while leaving the E3 flag on, all of the trap chests, all the trap doors are going to not attack, so not going to be getting any extra experience from running through here. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think he's running into here thinking he can't beat it. I think he's running through the sealed cave, believing that whoever it is, they have the ability to defeat, but just they might not want to if it's a garbage item. Or unless they find something really good. Like, if he finds something really good in the chest he's picking up along the way, he might still opt to fight the boss, but we know it's not Mist Dragon, so there's no item there. So Fizz went and got his pink tail. And the glass helm from for Nightdew from the Sylph, so can go turn in and get both items. Yeah,
Yep.
get the Luca key and the pink tail.
Resetting right out of that.
Ooh, I did not see what was there. Oh, it was Bahamut. What was the item? I didn't even see what item was in there.
Oh no, it was the Bahamut summon.
Oh god, that's okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, nobody wants that. So time to single dip.
Without Rydia, that's all that is worth is to sell, but not even at this point. Resetting out also does leave the sealed door grind
Intact.
available to him now.
Mm-hmm. If it comes down to that, but the sealed cave grind is just so much slower comparatively to the other options, so generally speaking, it's one of the only options used if nothing else is available.
The only time we'd probably see that is if we don't find Darkness Crystal, we find Pass.
Or Sirens.
Or Sirens. With these runners, I feel like they're gonna either do Sirens or Deep Machine Grind. I'm itching to see who this 5th character is, though.
Yeah, me too. Bet they're hiding on the moon. So I'm not even sure where else. Oh, or they could be in Zot as well. Which they don't have access to either, so you know how that goes. Okay, let us see who our boss is here. Aw, it's that wall. I love walls that just chase me with evil, creepy faces.
Oh yeah. Supremacy have no problem with this fight, or shouldn't have any problem with this spot.
Okay, let's see. The evil wall is what is usually in the sealed cave. So, definitely, generally speaking, going to be much easier in this spot. You can't, you know, cheat it, as it were, because that's one of those spots where Edward can be incredibly handy, is for this evil wall fight, to cheese it. But, I still don't think Supremacy is going to have any issues.
No, Yang's berserked. He's got a cat claw on, adamant armor. He's 1700. This will be done very shortly. This wall will be a crumbling down.
But look at it, it's so creepy.
I believe the DS version of this game, the wall is significantly creepier.
Yes, it is. That's one thing about the DS version that I noticed is a lot of the bosses are way creepier. I think Octomam is one of the most terrifying bosses I've ever seen in my life in the DS version.
Oh yes, Octomam makes me laugh in the SNES version.
Yeah. Oh no, Tella died. Listen. Do not. Oops, all Zerkers. That is not an oops, that is designed and beautiful.
Yang and poor, I'm just gonna watch this wall come close. Alright, Eva walls are down. Let's see what he gets. With 52,000 experience for those 2 remaining survivors.
Stardust Rod. An excellent rod, but not really what Supremacy is looking for here. So I found a Supremacy Rod on... Not a Supremacy Rod, haha. A Stardust Rod on Tella can be quite excellent, because when used as an item, it casts... Stardust on the enemies, which is very nice. So let's see who's hiding in the tower key spot. They're not going to be a challenge no matter who it is, because the HP in this spot is laughable. Yes, no moon access yet, no. Oh, it's Ogopogo, how cute.
And Ogopogo's still gonna do take off half of their HP
And
right
then they're
here.
gonna, but then Yang's gonna punch him once, and he's gonna be like, oh no, that hurt. Yeah, actually, Silver Star is very correct. Moon access would be go mode at this point. Because everyone has the crystal, so they are just looking for a way to get to the moon. Oh hey, double sit again. So let us go and, as Supremacy leaves, we'll see what our next item is. I feel like it might have to be progression, based on what he has checked and what items are remaining.
Yeah, I'm thinking well...
I'm just trying to think if there's anywhere he's checked. Well, actually, if anyone hasn't... No, no, there's a couple of bosses that folks haven't killed, so if this isn't progression, that could be really quite nasty.
That means the D-Lunar boss is blocking progression.
Yeah, so we do still have the Odin spot. We do still have the Ashura spot. So yeah, that's gross, and I'm hoping that we know exactly who to blame if this is not progression. Let's see what it is. Come on, progression. I mean, come on, not progression. Oh, not just progression. Go mode. So that is beautiful. That does also open up one of the grind options, which is the Tower of Babel grind. So, or not the Tower, the Giant of Babel grind. So, though I don't know that they have anyone with weak, so not so good. But if I was Supremacy, as soon as I got the whale, I would hop immediately to the moon to check what that character is.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Tella has weak. He's just very slow.
He just might not live to use it. I don't tend to even think of Tella because I'm just like, oh, but he'll die, so why will it matter? But maybe he'll be okay. That's okay, we've got Bacchus's. And again, depending on what character is on the moon, it could still be another duplicate, though, because Zot is still open, so... Well, not open, but... This could be potentially gross.
If this is a duplicate, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 4-character run to Zeromus.
And yes, Ramses, this means set party of 5, so the 5 characters they find are the only 5 characters, and every other one they find will be a duplicate. But nobody has found that 5th character yet, so we don't even know who that last character is. Ooh, Sirens on the moon!
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Always got value at Cave Hummingway.
That makes the grind much easier. He knows where coffins are. He has sirens now. I mean, he's ready. He just needs quick grind. He's ready to go.
Yeah, and you can do that grind right on the moon. You do not even need to leave.
Right, yep. King reuse, get some great damage. Yes. Throw down a life potion, 0 vitality glitch.
Yeah, and especially with those hourglasses. Oh, actually, the hourglasses don't work on the King Ryus. I remember that from attempting it once myself. They do? Okay, there was something else I tried them on and it didn't work, and I was like, no! Coffin Stone, that must have been it. Excellent. Well, then even better, and they have hourglasses, so... Okay, so Rivers is making the Babel play, which is excellent, which means he will, as he does have the tower key, he is likely... Him or Fizz is going to be the next one.
Come
Or not the
on,
next
fifth
one, no,
character.
because Nightdew's there. So yeah, they're all headed in the right direction. Come on. Oh, it's Palom!
Okay. That actually is a very good find.
Yes, it is. We want Quack Kid, who is thusly named because he learns Quake very early. And Quake is incredibly powerful and cannot be reflected. So it is an excellent spell, and if you're going to get Palom anywhere, right there, especially when they're going to be doing their grind, is a fabulous. And yeah, as Margaret Ann points out, having both of the twins, at least earlier on, is pretty excellent. That twin cast isn't bad. I don't think that it's very useful at this point, but earlier on that would have been extremely helpful.
And that Stardust Rod that he picked up is going to really help Palom with that plus 15 to his wisdom. He's going to, his magic spells are just going to be hitting like a truck.
Absolutely. A dead body does not need a rod that good.
Yeah, speaking of this, Stardust Rod, Nightdew just picked his up.
Oh, how nice. And Fizz just did the tower key area, which I believe he was doing on the way up. It would be interesting to see whether Nightdew... I didn't see whether Nightdew did his on the way up or not, or whether it has to do it on the way down. So, but it does mean Supremacy is quite nicely in the lead, but everyone else is also catching up. So, depending on... This could all come down to Zeromus.
It could. We're gonna see everyone finish within a very close time of each other.
And yes, again, all of the flags for this round of 16 are C3, which means we are locked into a 5-party if you even find them. So yes, this is the only party that anyone can have if they have all 5 characters. D-Machine Grind is excellent. 15 minutes of D-Machine Grind is excessive and beautiful.
I particularly enjoy the D-Machine grind just because I feel like it's a difficult grind. It's a difficult to pull off well, but I feel very accomplished if I pull it off right.
Absolutely. And after even just this first King Ryu fight, that's going to help a lot. So getting those first 2 attacks off, killing the 2 characters, but again, lots of time to get Palom back up, and Tella.
Tella's doing his best Edward impression.
Yeah, he's not even doing it as well.
And looks like Nightdew is going to be quickly heading up to Crystal.
Goodbye, Ogopogo. It's like you were hard or something. Yeah, so Nightdew will be our next person on the moon. Looks like probably followed by Rivers, then followed by Fizz. So, will that be the actual order in which our players finish? We'll see here soon. Yeah, level 35 for Palom, or sorry, 35 additional levels for Palom is a lot of spells. And you know what spell is definitely included? Probably Quake. So just a reminder for these flags, for this round of 16, every race that occurs, the same 4 people or the same group are always going to be facing each other. So, but the loser of this match, the person in last place will not progress. The next match will have 3. And then after they do that next round, it'll be down to 2. So it'll be definitely very interesting to see who progresses, but either way, they will still be racing against the other surviving members of their team. So
yeah, this grind is going particularly well for Supremacy.
Yes.
Probably maybe one max and he's good to go. He's going to want to get Nuke on Palom.
for sure.
With the Stardust Rod and the equipment he has on, Nuke should be doing in the upper 7,000 damage.
Yeah. And if he can get an adamant armor on him, maybe. Yeah, because a lot of the problem with the twins is their survivability for Zeromus, is they do not have a lot of HP, especially Porum.
Did Nightdew check the item shop? The Hummingway shop? I did not see.
The Hummingway shop was checked earlier, yes, and that's where we found. I don't know if a Nightdew checked it or not. Yeah, we know Supremacy checked it, but best hope Nightdew also checked it, and we'll see if Rivers will check it.
Rivers is checking that. He'll be happy to see. Yep, all four of our runners are in go mode. Pretty impressive, especially given their flag sets NSC3.
Absolutely, but in this round of 16, there's only 16 left, so it's really also not that surprising that they would do this very close to each other, because they are all excellent runners. Like, even the person who does not progress after this race is still one of the top runners in the community, so nothing is to be said against their skill, whoever it is. But yeah, they're all doing very well, so I love seeing close races like this. They're pretty exciting. We'll see if it'll get even closer as we go on, but no, Supremacy is done with the grind.
Supremacy will be heading down very shortly. We're going to see our Z-Sprite. Only thing I'm disappointed at, no nasty music tonight.
Nope. Well, some seeds are like that. As much as we love that nasty, nasty music, unfortunately, it's time consuming. And we just didn't find the Twin Harp anywhere. Be interesting to see who is holding it once someone finishes. Yes, Scala, what's wrong? You actually made a kind of nice seed. I don't like it.
Yeah, something is wrong in the universe.
That's okay, it's luring them into a false sense of security for the next one. Yeah, and Supremacy is just beelining, knowing with the stakes as high as they are that no one has not done yet, do not want to waste more time than required, but you also don't want to dive into Zeromus too early, because you risk losing time if you do wipe. So definitely don't want that. And PMAkfal, do you want to explain the ever wonderful Z flag to our viewers?
Yes, as you'll see on our flag set, the end will be a Z. That means that the normal Zeromus sprite is that big nasty monster Zeromus. A little fun flag that we have here, with big thanks to Scala Kitty for submitting close to 300 sprites. Zeromus will have a randomized sprite, so it could be anything. The fun in this is seeing what sprite we're going to be fighting as the final boss. Zeromus' abilities, skill, and stats are completely unchanged. This is just for fun. Nice little Easter egg added in.
Absolutely. So we are going to see shortly, once that crystal is used, we're going to see our shiny new sprite. So is it someone new, or is it a sprite we've seen before? How epic. We will soon see. I want it to be something not creepy.
Oh, creepy's fun.
No, I want Ultras.
I had Ultras today, actually.
My heart is crushed.
It was either today or last night. I had Ultras as my sprite, and it made me happy.
Well, it's almost Ultras.
Very close. Yes, it is.
Kraken. It is purple and has tentacles, so we'll count that as a win. Okay, getting that Bacchus immediately on Yang is really going to help. While some strats, which are frequently used for Zeromus, have us reflecting spells, it looks like we are still going to do that, but with the lower HP of some of our characters, we cannot guarantee using only that as the strat. Oh, very lucky
that was
nuke.
lucky.
Very lucky. So using a nuke after that first shake on Zeromus nukes the damage that his first Big Bang will do. So getting that nuke off is really important. But Zeromus does counter with nuke, so having it be Palom, who had the wall up, beautiful. Very beautiful. And look how beautiful this damage is going to be for the Big Bang. Wow, it didn't even kill Tella. Like, how good is that?
It almost did.
Almost is still not dead considering his HP value.
I think he's going to try to get Tella's a little bit used to throw off a Cure 4 here if his HP does not tick down from Big Bang. But I know you mentioned using Nuke early will nerf his Big Bang and cause him to counter, but actually any spell will cause him to counter. We saw that that Nuke counter was from a Silk Web, which was used to slow Crackamus down. And
absolutely. Yeah, and if you use white spells, like if they weren't bouncing whites off of the wall there, you would get weaked instead, which is not very nice.
Looks like all of our runners too have decided to put Tella in the middle to use as our agility anchor.
Smart.
That nuke is doing some work. Now this next Big Bang will most likely be a full powered Big Bang unless he just pushes directly through and we only see one Big Bang, which is entirely possible with the damage numbers that Supremacy is putting out.
Yeah, and just to quickly explain the rounds, so each of these groups, of which there's 4, will race twice. So that means there'll be 2 people for each of the 4 groups who will then progress to a final playoffs, which I believe will race 3 times to get a winner takes all. Yeah, there'll be 3 matches on the final day for the playoffs. So during the first race, 2 players will be eliminated. The second race, another 2 players will be eliminated. And then the final race will have 4 folks battling, and just first one done is the final winner.
Ooh, this is going to be a full-powered Big Bang. Let's see if it takes out Forum and Palom.
Oh, it did
Nope,
not.
it did not.
Very excellent. That is absolutely what we wanted to see.
And having the Cure 3s means we can cure through. He's in Meteor phase. He is almost done.
And Meteor phase is the last and final phase. It means Zeromus is almost dead and really does no damage. And with those flashes, we can see that Supremacy has finished in first with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Wow, what a Zeromus fight. What a run for Supremacy.
Absolutely, that was excellent. So now it's a race for second, and we can see how close the other 3 racers are. So while that first is really great and absolutely secures Supremacy's continuation in this group, this next 3 here is going to be a lot more important, because you just want any place that is not last, because the other places for this match really don't mean anything other than you weren't last. So this is where things are going to get exciting.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a big fight for second and third place here, because everybody is really close. This is a great race. right down here. Supremacy got, Supremacy pulled ahead there early and just stayed ahead. These other three runners are, it's tight.
Absolutely. And while Rivers heads up to Zeromus, I see that we have our winner, Supremacy, in the channel here with us. Congratulations, Supremacy. How did you find that?
Thank you very much. I thought I was behind until I finished.
No, you did really well with your routing. At the beginning, it looked like Rivers was in the lead, but just because of the way he routed and he tried Odin, the Odin spot, once. Well, he checked it once and then he powered up and came in again, and that lost him some time. But yeah, you were pretty solidly in the lead for, I'd say, the latter half of the race.
Yeah, I know doing Baron before the Mount Ordeals might have been a gamble, and if I had actually taken the hook bait right away, I think it would have been really bad for me. But
Yeah, that's what we
I
were.
managed to get Tella. I was just like, okay, well, let's just do Ordeals anyway.
Yeah, it's a character. Yeah, we were actually all of the runners. Nobody took the hook bait, which is Rivers was the first one to get the crystal. So when we saw that, we were like, now are the other three gonna get hook baited because he hadn't even been to Baron yet? And thankfully nobody got hook baited, which I was pretty shocked at. So it's very close between second to fourth place. Oh, Nightdew making it there before Rivers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, Supremacy, were you very relieved to find sirens in the Hummingway Cave?
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with the D machine grind, so if I hadn't have found them, it wouldn't have been a huge deal. I did have Tella already, and I had the Ether 2s already, so I could have done the D machine if they weren't there, but seeing them there was just like, okay, well, now I don't have to waste my time on D machine. I can just go do the Gold Dragon grind, which is, especially when you have to walk down the moon anyway, going to be a whole lot faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody found the pass that we saw.
Now tell me, if on the moon the lunar throne would have been a duplicate, would you have rolled down with 4 characters, or would have you tried to find maybe Earth Crystal or something?
I was going with that party regardless of whoever was sitting at the lunar dais. If it was somebody like Cecil, I actually probably would have been mad because then it would have screwed up my anchoring and I didn't have any gear for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, excellent. Well, anything you want to comment about on that seed or this particular match?
No. I'm still kind of in shock, so.
Well, you did a good job, so congratulations on that win, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next round.
Yes, Supremacy, that was one of the best executed runs that I've seen for giving this flag set, so congratulations, GG. That was well earned.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Ooh, River's taking a full big bang there. But still, everyone's alive other than Tella, but nobody expected Tella to live, so.
So we got the Fizz is done with his grind. He's he's cabining up and saving. This is gonna come down to the Z fight. If someone gets, if someone wipes on Z, it's gonna make it completely different. Oh, Fizz was healing, so he could go back to do some more grinding. So
that's not so good. No, that may have lost him any chance of progressing. Unfortunately, basically exactly like you said, he needs someone to fail at Zeromus at least once, and even that might not be enough to save him at this point, depending on how badly that goes. But currently we're getting like 9999 nukes from Palamon Krakenmus, and it looks like Nightdew's fight is also going quite well. So as it is, it's quite close, I would think, between Nightdew and Rivers, but I also haven't been closely watching the damage, so it's going to be interesting.
And I saw Nightdew moved Palom into the center spot to be the agility anchor, so I didn't see what his agility was to cause him to move that. Oh, that was...
Just lost Palom for Rivers, but does still have Porum standing, so at least that is doable, but could slow things down. So, especially with the other two Bacchus. So it's gonna really depend on what happens here with Nightdew.
It depends on It just depends on the speed of Crackamus right now. What's going to happen if he can get another Big Bang off? That could be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. River's getting the run buffers in there as well, though.
And you're going to see that can't run message hang for quite a bit longer because there is any fight that has messages up there in that text box. If you do a run buffer, it will cause that to hang significantly longer. Oh, River's got everybody back up. There you go.
Well, quote unquote, everybody.
Well, everybody that matters.
No. Tella felt that.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, but it looks like Fizz is done his grind, so it is his turn to join the fight, and hopefully he'll join while the other two are still fighting.
We're seeing a nice nerf strat from Nightdew down there. Got a nerfed Big Bang to come off there. Made a big difference. Because I thought he was losing his magic users pretty quickly there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, Nuke and Sid. That's not very nice, Crackamus. Getting some more berserks off for Nightdew, though.
And Sid is the one. Sid and Yang in here, they're HP tanks right now. So any counter nukes onto them is gonna be what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fizz transforming.
So yeah, we have our final three all in the Zemus fight at the same time. So this is still really close. Ooh, Meteo phase for Rivers. But that doesn't count Nightdew out, depending. Sometimes you're close enough, you just get that hit. Oh.
I would imagine Nightdew there. Yeah, I was about to say, I imagine Nightdew is in Meteo phase already. Rivers, this should finish it for him. And it does.
So I just want to note that according to SRL, they finished on a tie. So finishing tied for second are both Riversmccown and Nightdew with a final SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 39 seconds. So since only last place matters in this, we don't need to do any tiebreakers. So enjoy your tied second, folks.
Wow. I've actually never seen a literal tie.
I have, but they are so rare, and that was fabulous. So congratulations to both of you. Let's see if they'll both come in for an interview. That was so shiny. I love that sort of thing.
That was really cool.
The best, I'm telling you. And we'll just see how the rest of Fizz's fight goes. So far, so good.
And Tella is still alive, which is...
Go Tella! Woo!
We had a counter nuke bounce right off the wall on Tella.
You love it when that happens. It's like, stop hating yourself, Zemus. Stop hating yourself.
Oh, and there's Nightdew. GG!
Hello, everybody. GG.
Congrats on your tie for second.
I almost kind of want to ask who entered Zemus first there.
You did.
Just barely.
Yeah, you were just ahead of Rivers. I think you were like a screen apart, so you were into the fight when he was like 1 or 2 screens away. It was so close.
Whew.
Yeah, that was close. So how did you feel about that?
When I saw the early crystalline ordeals, I was feeling pretty good. I'm like, maybe somebody doesn't, try to, make their Tella better. Maybe they go chase that hook. I don't think that happened.
Yeah, nobody chased the hook. We were expecting somebody to, but no one did. And Rivers actually got the crystal before the hook, so he could not get debated.
Okay, and then as soon as I'm just running over Underworld, I'm like, okay, it's one of those things where it's gonna be the last. It's gonna be like behind that moon boss in the Fey March or something like that. I was feeling really bad after like wiping into the Baron Guards twice, thinking, oh no, I can't get this hourglass off. It's got to be there, and it wasn't entirely there, but definitely good stuff behind it. Finally, I'm glad that in one of my practice races, I'm like, well, where's the last thing I did? And I'm like, I forgot Dwarf, so I'm like, I made it a priority to do Dwarf, and it just paid off in that tower key.
Absolutely. And also joining us is our other second place winner, Riversmccown. Congratulations, sir.
Boy, I'm glad people told me to put tiebreak rules in.
Yeah. Yeah, right? And hilariously, it happened in a match where, thankfully, we don't need to tiebreak, but just goes to show it does happen.
Yeah, I felt really good about my plays, except for the part where I wasted like 5 minutes trying to fight Luge under Baron Castle.
That was definitely what lost you your time. You were doing so well up until that point, and that's what kind of put you a bit behind everyone else for a bit.
Yeah, it was tragic. I didn't know that the little flame attack did that much damage. So it goes to show you.
There's always more learning to be done, no matter where you are skill-wise.
Yep.
Oh, well, you both did so well, so we were just asking for Nightdew's kind of take on that seed. Other than Luge, how did you find that seed?
I thought it was pretty easy, actually.
Yeah.
It really guided you right where you needed to be, and the only trouble I had the entire time was having too many options in the underworld. Other than that, it was really, really nice seed. When you got Porum, you had the admin armor on her, so you didn't really have to worry about, is she going to survive big bangs? Are you going to have to like really level her up a whole bunch? A lot of decisions are made for you. Pretty play by the numbers seed.
Yeah, I do want to know you are the only one who got the crystal before the hook, but nobody else got hook baited. So there was a possibility you were going to be fine with the linear path, and the other folks could have gotten hook baited, but they all went to our deals because they got Tella in Baron.
Look, K Bahamut knows where the value is, okay? We're not going to fall for these shenanigans.
And I do want to note TheFiz is in medio phase for Zeromus, so it is mere moments until he should be finishing up as well.
Yep. Yeah, he's got Yang and Porum up. Yang is berserked, hitting for about 2.5k each, so it should be done pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So any last thoughts while he's finishing up there from either of you?
Go ahead, dude.
I'm kind of done shaking now here. I mean, as soon as I was gonna do like one more Ryu fight before it, and then I saw Supremacy's not done. And I'm like, oh nope, gotta go now.
Yeah, I felt much the same way. That was interesting, kind of metagaming off of that, and yeah, I'm really bummed by my Zemus fight. I thought it was a little bit weak, but yeah, we're still alive, and we keep playing next time, guys.
Absolutely. And Fizz has declined an interview, so unless there's anything else that either of you wants to say, we're gonna just clue things up here.
No, that's it. Thank you for all the work behind the scenes here, and I think that's about it here. The healing can begin.
Yeah, thanks to Scala for doing the restream, you and PMA for doing the commentary, our tracker and Venerable. Thanks to Randomania for coding the tracker in the first place, and yeah, I'm excited to keep these going on.
Absolutely, and I hope the rest of the races are as close as this one was, because this is an excellent start to the round of 16, if so. But with that, I think we are going to clue things up. So unless our ever-wonderful restreamer Scala has anything to point out, I think this is going to be myself, Netara, and PMAkfal signing off.
Yep, and one big thank you to RPG Limit Break for allowing us to use the channel for this league.
Of course, and I linked all the runners and folks out helping behind the scenes, so give everyone a follow.
Well, when is our next race? Our next race, the round of 16, is September 19th. So that will be Wednesday.
At 8:30 Eastern in the evening. So I'll be honest, I don't remember which team this is because I'm a bad person, but the runners in this particular race are Dipwood, Couch 23, Scratch Dragon, and Swimmy Leone. So that should be excellent. The team of Nirm, Magus, F. Coughlin, and Penguinator will be the very next day on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And following up beginning of next week, on September 24th at 8 p.m., we'll have the final group with Kobahi, Azen Tayama, Dusty Griff, and Invenerables racing. So we have a week of some really fun races.
Yes, and I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited for all of our runners. I can't wait. Thank you, Netara, for co-commentating with me. Had a blast as usual.
Yeah, and thank you for commentating with me, PMAkfal.
Anytime.
Okay, so we're just gonna hand it back off to end it. So have a lovely evening, everybody.
Good night.